Well, hello there folks, and a very warm welcome as usual back to What's for Tea. It's lovely to see you all again, and thanks for coming over just to check out this wee recipe. And for tea tonight I made this amazing carrot and coriander soup. This is lovely and thick and full of flavour and one of my favourite soups, but I haven't made this for such a long time. So I'm going to show you how I'm making this, and I'll put the ingredients on the screen as I use them. So I've got a couple of tablespoons of butter there. To that I'm going to add some oil because that's going to stop the butter from burning. So you just want to melt these two together, and then once they're nicely melted I'm going to add one onion which I've just peeled and then diced. If you dice all of your veggies around about the same size, you know, it helps them cook at roughly the same time. So stir those round and let those cook for about 5 minutes on a low to medium heat, just until they go translucent and are nice and soft, just like this. Then to that I'm going to add my potato. This is about the size of a small baked potato, so just peeled and diced, and then one stalk of celery, again just finely diced. Pop that in and give it a good stir around. You want to let these cook for 4 or 5 minutes, just until those are starting to soften up as well, and you can come back and give them a wee stir if you don't have a non-stick pan. To this I'm going to add my carrots, lots of carrots because it is a carrot and coriander soup at the end of the day, so pop those in as well. And again, just give those a good stir around with the rest of the ingredients to make sure everything is well coated in the butter and oil. I'm going to add some pepper and also some salt. The salt will help your veggies sweat down that wee bit quicker and become softer that wee bit quicker as well. So stir that through, pop your lid on, and then reduce the heat to low and let those cook for 10 to 15 minutes. And you can come back from time to time to give those a wee stir, like I said before, you know, if your pan is not non-stick. But this was me 15 minutes later, and I was happy with these. As you can see, they've gone lovely and soft. They're just amazing, and it smell amazing as well. To this I'm going to add 1 litre of vegetable stock. I used 2 of these stock pots and 1 litre of boiling water, so just pop that in as well. You do want a nice strong flavour from your veggie stock because that's where most of your flavour is coming from. So get your lid back on, and you want to simmer this for about another 10 minutes. And then after your 10 minutes, just come back, give it a good stir around, turn your heat off, and that is your soup done. The next thing we have to do is get your ground coriander nice and toasty. So pop some butter into the pan, let it melt down, then add the ground coriander. This is the one that I'm using here. So just pop that straight into your hot butter. Give it a wee stir around and let this cook for about a minute. You'll be able to smell when it's ready because it's quite fragrant. So after a minute you can add this straight in to your soup, and this is going to give your soup a wonderful coriander flavour. Don't worry, we are going to add fresh coriander as well, just for the vibrancy, but the flavour is in the ground coriander. Then turn your heat off, make sure it's off, and then you can add your milk, give that a good stir through as well. And then the last thing we're going to do is use an immersion blender just to make it nice and smooth. If you don't have one of these, you can pop it into, you know, a standard blender, but you do want this nice and smooth, and it'll go lovely and thick and velvety, just like this. It's fabulous. The last thing we're going to do is add in the fresh coriander. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons, but you can add more or less depending on your own preference. So I'm just going to stir that through and let the warmth of the soup wilt that coriander down. Let it sit for a few minutes and it will be ready to serve. So I'm going to put it into this big bowl just to let you see the wonderful colour. A wee bit of cream on the top, some more of that fresh coriander, and a wee handful of croutons in the middle. This is all completely optional. You can of course just have the soup and a hunk of crusty bread and it'll be just as delicious, and it's really filling as well because it's quite a thick hearty soup. Even though there are no lumps in there, it's just lovely and thick. So that was my delicious soup. So let me know what you thought of that one, and thank you again for coming over, and a huge thank you as usual to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page and to the channel members here on YouTube as well. For you all for watching, leaving your lovely comments, and for those that share the videos as well, it's all very much appreciated. I'm very lucky to have you, so thank you once again, and I will catch up with you during the week for another wee video recipe back here on What's for Tea. So take care and bye for now. Bye now.